All right. We're going to go ahead and get started here with the Phoenix Suns losing in this battle against the Oklahoma City Thunder, 112 to 125. I thought this was a great showing for J Dub and Chet. No Shea. We go ahead and clinch the NBA's best record and home court through the 2025 playoffs. I feel like that's the biggest key for today. No real injuries. Caruso played great. I mean, we came back, we dominated there to take things off. I thought that was fantastic. Um, Let me see if there's any. We got Hotspot Casino already joining us. What I say, fellas, I said we needed to start Caruso. Yeah, Caruso was honestly like a huge difference maker from the defensive end. Offensively, he was fantastic as well. I mean, what else can you ask from an all defensive, talent the way he is? So I was really happy with his play. I'm gonna pull up some of these let's see, stat lines for us. Let me go ahead and do that. My apologies, I don't have them up right now. So I know J-Dub had 33, 7 and 5, 3 steals, 13 of 23 shooting. Chet 22, 10 and 4. He was dominating in the paint, getting to the free throw line. 12 of 13. That's one of his best showings from the free throw line. Caruso there, 19, 5 and 3, 5 steals as well. Wiggins 17, 5 and 3. Wiggins, we've needed him, and he's definitely shown up for us here. And then J Will 12 and 4 with the rebounds, 4 of 5 from 3. He had a lot of booms today. And then Kenrich was just hustling all over the place. 13 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists as well. This was the 52nd win by double digits for the Thunder. I mean, this is an outstanding showing. Hotspot, I appreciate you on the comment section. I like Wallace, but Alex needs to start through the playoffs. I definitely think Wallace and Alex will both be getting tremendous time throughout the playoffs.
You don't think they'll get tremendous time
No,
throughout the
I
playoffs?
do. They'll
Okay.
both be getting lots of time. I think there's going to be other guys that time will be taken away. Like I don't think Dylan Jones will see much of the court unless there's blowouts or something like that.
No,
So
1000%. If a team
yeah.
if a team's in the playoffs, they have scorers that help them get to the playoffs. We're gonna have guys to guard those scorers, which makes keeping a guy like Wallace or Caruso off the court difficult for us.
Yeah. I mean, I rattled off a bunch of the player stats, and I mean, Caruso kind of being everywhere. That kind of summarized most of the game. This was just one where I didn't know if we were going to win it with how Booker was playing early on the offensive end. He had a nice little run in the first quarter, and then he was pretty silent for the second and third quarters for us, which was great. And then he kind of picked it up a little bit in the fourth, but it was pretty much garbage time. We had a 15, sometimes a 20-point lead there. So there was really no chance for them in this game. And we're consistently beating teams without Shea sometimes. And we've beaten teams without Chet for a majority of the season. And even games again, without any of the starters we've seen, against like a team like the Blazers.
Yeah. Caruso's role was kind of stopping Booker tonight, or not kind of. His role was stopping Booker tonight. He was on Booker like glue all game. Booker did most of his scoring in the first quarter, which I found crazy because most of the time you have a star player, they're going to heat up throughout the game. But Booker kind of just got off rolling throughout the first quarter. He had double digits. I'm not sure what the exact amount is. But throughout the game, Caruso just kind of figured him out, and Booker didn't end up really becoming a problem. I was worried after that first quarter when he got into double digits. I was like, uh-oh, this is going to be a Booker legacy game. We're about to get cooked by Devin Booker, but he never really seemed to show up.
Yeah, I mean, he shot nearly 50% from the field, only had 20 points. He was only held to 4 free throws. He was 0 for 4 from the three-point line, so great defense by Caruso on him all game. I was expecting a lot more from Grayson Allen. I'm a Duke fan as well, so it's like I've seen him, and he can be big from the 3-point line, and just big time in general. And he only got 23 minutes in this one. Bradley Beal and Booker played nearly 40 minutes, and Beal only had 25 points, 5 for 5 from the free throw line, 4 of 8 from the 3-point line, 8 of 17. I mean, solid showing from Beal and Booker, but none of their other players really showed up. I thought Colin Gillespie, he had 17 points.
Yeah,
Tyus Jones had
that
10.
was shocking.
Yeah, and then Royce O'Neal had a couple big 3 points. He was 3 for 8. He's always a solid, reliable guy. Not sure why Oso Ighodaro gets as many minutes as he does. He only had 3 points in this game as a whole. The other guy that was pretty impressive from the Suns' end was Ryan Dunn, who had 3 of 8 3-pointers.
I've been impressed with him all season. He was drafted. When he was drafted, he was kind of seen as a lockdown defender, that guy who's going to take the other team's number one option out of the game. But he's kind of extended his game beyond defense and became a threat even on the offensive end. I'm pretty sure he had a handful of threes tonight against us, which I thought was impressive from him.
Yeah. We got home court advantage throughout the whole playoffs. I think that's fantastic for us.
I forgot that was a perk of this win.
Yeah, and we also eliminated the Suns from pretty much playoff contention with this loss for them, so they have no chance of making it.
I can assure you, even if they were to make the play-in tournament, they're not making it out of the play-in tournament. There's better they don't fare well with the teams that are currently in the play-in. Yeah,
their season has been done before it even really started with kind of the roster construction that they have. They're one of 30 teams, so 29 other teams have a draft pick. They don't have a draft pick, and they didn't make the playoffs. So they're the only abysmal franchise. For any Suns fans watching right now, I really apologize, but this is just a fact of the matter. You guys don't have a draft pick, and you guys didn't make the playoffs. I mean, it can't get really any worse as a franchise.
Well, now I feel like I'm hating, but they're also the most expensive. They also have the most expensive payroll in the entire league.
Yeah, well, there's that too. So it's like, I mean, what more can we add on to this? And then, there's a lot more obviously we can add on to this, but we're not going to focus too much on the Suns here. Let's look at some of the other players on the roster. I feel like, go ahead.
Oh, J. Will threes was huge. That's been big throughout the season. J. Will has been very efficient from the 3-point line.
Yeah, really, really efficient. He just knows his spots and when to pick them. And honestly, they play a lot of drop coverage against him because they feel like he's just a passing big. So he gets a ton of wide open 3-point looks. And I think in a playoff series, I don't think that'll happen because the defenses will just be a little bit, showing a little bit more urgency. But on top here, would the Suns blow up their roster?
I don't even think it's a matter of blowing it up. The question is, does Kevin Durant even want to stick it out with them?
Well, yeah, I think it's massively reported that they're losing KD regardless. I think the bigger question mark is around if Devin Booker is going to ask for a trade out or something like that, and they really start this rebuild. So we'll really have to see on that. But yeah, KD's definitely out of there. I wanted to focus on, I thought J-Dub in this game was really just aggressive. This is the type of J-Dub game. He's had the Rockets game, he scored 30 plus. In this game, he scored 30 plus. Obviously, no Shea, but this kind of showed what the J-Dub and Chet minutes can look like in the most optimal form when Shea is even on the bench. I think that was the purpose of having Shea sit this one out, and he needed some rest as well, but it was great.
The main objective coming into this game was matching the scoring Shea would typically do when he's on the floor, and J-Dub and Chet completely completed that objective.
Yeah. They had 55 points between themselves. Caruso was great with the ball handling tonight. He got to the free throw line, so that's one thing I've noticed about Caruso. He's one of our many players that can get to the free throw line. So outside of Shea, we need free throw production in the playoffs. And I feel like with the way he handles the ball and just, drives to the basket, he has at least opportunities to draw fouls. I mean, none of the other guys really get to the line like that. They're not that aggressive. Kendrick drives pretty hard to the basket as well, and sometimes he'll get maybe a couple or a handful of free throws. Chet's the other guy that I'd really look for. If he's driving hard to the basket like he was tonight, that's going to be crucial. If Shea's getting around 10 free throws, J-Dub's getting his couple, and then Chet's really coming along on attacking the paint, that's where the game just opens up into a whole different, I feel like, stratosphere where we haven't even seen that yet. And I think that's the next, phase of growth for Chet himself. But the Thunder team, they can, like I said, the previous,
Yeah.
I guess, live is we could easily be a 70 win, 75 win team, Chet, if Chet's healthy all season. And if he's playing like this, man, we can break even crazier records.
Yeah, I would like to see that become a consistent thing for Chet, but I think why he really made that a focus in this game is because if you look up and down the Suns roster, like who's really going to stop Chet at the rim? They don't have anyone that matches his size that can guard him, and they don't have any bigs that are really rim protectors. Like, is he supposed to be worried about Mason Plumlee? If Mason Plumlee's on Chet, you're taking him to the rim every time. I don't care.
Yeah, and there's a lot of actions that we've been running. There's that specific play kind of where we get the smaller guards on him, kind of on the weak side paint, and he'll just come off a quick screen, go straight to the rack, and doesn't even wait for the defender to recover. He got a couple fouls on that, and he's done that in multiple games now where we've seen that play be really successful. And if it's a player that does or is able to, I guess, contest him, he'll just go straight into a fadeaway. And if he's that close to the basket, he's going to pretty much score like a majority of the time. Like, that's a very high efficiency bucket that I don't mind him taking. And I love the way we're, running plays for him, setting him up to be more successful. We've definitely developed that since he's come back, and that was something that I was looking for.
Yeah, I want to touch on this. Pre-Achilles injury for Wiggins, double digits was kind of a regular occurrence. That was just something we started to expect from him. He was becoming that third, fourth scoring option, and it was really giving us a boost offensively. His last 3 games coming into the Suns game, he hasn't eclipsed that double-digit point mark. So for him to get 17 points tonight is huge for his confidence. That's a big confidence spike for him, especially as the playoffs get closer for the Thunder.
Yeah, totally agree. We're 66-14 now, clinched the NBA's #1 overall seed, eliminated the Suns from the playoffs, and then we also added an all-time NBA record of 52 double-digit wins this season. And I don't know if anyone caught the post-game press conference this time around. We had Nick Gallo custom
Hey,
t-shirts.
I'm gonna need one of those shirts, just so you know.
Yeah, if any of the Thunder players are watching this, please send us the shirt, or we'll definitely figure out a way to get some of those. So that was a really dope moment. Even seeing like Shea, Lou Dort, Hartenstein, who weren't even playing in this one, involved in that post game presser. I thought that was awesome. It was just this team is just great vibes. The vibes are back after the win from yesterday. I felt like the vibes had kind of died down a little bit with the Houston loss and then the Lakers demolition of us. So we definitely needed that win, and we got the back-to-back wins. We've not had 3 losses in a row this whole season. So when people freak out on Twitter or on any of the social medias, oh, we just lost the game, it's like every time we lose, we go on another winning streak. We can go into the playoffs here. If we win the next 2, we're right back to like a 4-game win streak after 2 consecutive losses. And that's just prototypical. I can't believe we can just expect that from the Thunder, but that's how great. This is the best Thunder team of all time.
No, and it's the year 2025, and we live in a 3-point shooting league. And when your 3-point shots are falling, it makes it a little harder to win against good teams. And
Yep.
I mean, I would argue the Thunder have been a little streaky at times this year, and when that happens, it definitely makes it harder for the Thunder to win. So I want to say we shot well from three tonight.
I
Yeah,
can
40%.
Yeah, we shot 12 of 30 tonight. We actually shot a lot of free throws without Shea, 27 total free throws as a team. If we're doing something like that, like I said, with Chet getting to the line as much as he is, plus
Yeah,
maybe Caruso and J Dub mix in
a
there,
lot,
yeah, that's there's
a
not a
lot of
single team that can compete with us.
yeah, a lot of it goes back to that they couldn't guard Chet straight up. They had to slap him on the arms, or
Mhm.
not intentionally, but he was he he has a post bag, and when he gets in the paint, it's hard to guard him.
Yeah. I also want to shout out our rebounding back to back games. We've had 44 rebounds. Uh, Today we had, as a team, 24 assists. And then on the steals, we had 11 steals. We only had 2 blocks this game, but the steals were pretty crucial. We've been fantastic at turning over teams. That's kind of our secret sauce is if we're not rebounding as much or um, I guess, we're not that much of a turnover prone team ourselves, but if we're turning the other team over and we're not getting the free throw battle, that's kind of where we even out the difference and win these games. And that's why the small ball really usually works for us and the spacing works for us. So we need to keep that defensive pressure up for the next 2 games. And then going into the playoffs, obviously we'll do that.
Yeah, I do want to say the funniest part of this game is typically you would catch Adam Flagler being like the victory flag at the end of the game. Okay, we're up by 20. Let's just throw in Flagler because we're up by so much. There's no reason to throw our stars out there. Flagler got a handful of minutes tonight, 8 minutes, and he came in the second quarter. And then to win, to put one of your 14th, 15th, to put your 14th, 15th man in, and then go on to win the game by 13 points is just ridiculous. This team has so much depth.
Yeah, the depth is crazy. Also, I guess from the Sun side, they didn't shoot the best from the 3-point line, only 35%. 48% from the field isn't horrible.
No, that's not
They just
bad.
got to the line a lot less. They were the less aggressive team. They really couldn't contain. When we really locked in with the proper lineup of at least having Caruso, Chet, J-Dub out there with Joe, whether it was with Wiggins or anyone else, Kenrich, that was kind of the lineup that put up a lot of points, defensive stops, and yeah, the Suns
Well,
definitely couldn't hang out in this game.
yeah, I was pleasantly shocked when I looked. They had 87 field goal attempts to the Thunder's 86. I would have thought with all our turnovers or all our turnovers forced that we would have had more shots with them. So that was kind of a shock to me.
Yeah, I also wanted to address a quick comment here talking about the standings. So from today's games, um, from tonight, we had the Nuggets win, but the Warriors ended up losing. When I had last checked, they were actually uh, winning their battle. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh these standings. That puts the Warriors at the 6th seed. Um, the Clippers and the Nuggets look like they're going to be probably battling it out. So uh, most likely we'll either be seeing the Warriors, Grizzlies, or Timberwolves here. That's what it's really looking like. The Lakers have secured the 3rd seed. As long as the Clippers win out, they should be fine, and the Nuggets win out. That Warriors loss is huge because I believe they have to see the Clippers here for the final game. So yeah, that was a really tough loss, and they still have to play a really tough Blazers team who, will just play their players because they're already out of it, so they're just trying to evaluate talent. But you never know. That Blazer team is still pretty solid. So the
Yeah,
Warriors.
I do want to say something that kind of goes under the radar is that Rockets Clipper game actually affects the Thunder because the Thunder have a pick swap option to swap to take on the Clippers or Rockets pick in the first round. If the Clippers win out, that actually helps us because the more the Clippers win, that the better their first round pick gets. It's unprotected, so the Thunder get it either way. And we're obviously going to switch. We're obviously going to go with the Clippers pick because um their record's worse than the Rockets, so it makes more sense to switch with them.
Yeah, I feel like that's a kind of a win-win scenario. But yeah, if the Clippers win out, and that's what it seems like will happen, we'll get that pick. So that'll just be even better for us when it comes to draft time. If there's not any other comments, we're probably gonna end this thing off here. Landon, if you got any finishing thoughts, go ahead and let us know.
The Thunder are a very good defensive team, and I feel like if Isaiah Joe played for any other team besides the Thunder, he would be really hyped up as a defender. But unfortunately, he just plays on the same team as Wallace, Caruso, Dort. So his name kind of goes under the radar when it comes to defense. But he was hustling tonight, and he was playing good defense, and I think that's something that we'll continue to see him buying into the identity, which is hustling, playing defense, forcing turnovers. And I really think that's something he could especially focus on this offseason, and then he could really pick up that 3-and-D label, which gets guys paid the big bucks, especially in free agency. Every championship team wants that 3-and-D player.
Well, the good thing for us is we've already got him locked up. So the more he improves his game, the better for us. And then, he was hustling tonight, and he's just gotten a lot better on the defensive end. He's not, that prototypical, like you mentioned, 3-point shooter where you can just blow by him. Like, he'll sit down and defend, and it's crazy how our identity kind of seeps on to other players. And I'm really loving, just seeing that. But I appreciate everyone for listening, Hotspot Casino, everyone else that joined in on the YouTube side, X and IG. We appreciate all of y'all. We'll be back for the next game. Who do we have up next here?
Jazz. They travel overnight to Salt Lake City tonight.
Nice. Awesome. Perfect. Can't wait for that game. We'll obviously do post game live for that, and then playoffs as well. If you guys want to see more content like this, make sure you guys drop a like, follow, and appreciate you guys. Thunder up, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.